Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Casual Cactus. I am your DM, Keith, and I am here to cause mayhem, manage the mayhem, and serve up some trouble for these guys that are across the table for me. Sorry for the late start. Work ran a little bit late. A little bit later than I would have liked. Let's just put it that way. But we are here to have fun. We're here to get started. Going to run you guys through the players one more time, just so you guys remember who is who. We've got Jordan.
I am playing Kai-Ho, the Ronin Samurai.
We have Steven.
I am Pyre, the Genasi Wizard.
There we go.
Seth.
Hi.
I'm just going down the line. Yeah.
I'm playing Adrian, the Asmar Slayer.
Danny.
I am Sploof, the Goblin Necromancer.
Kyrie.
I'm Bright, the Tabaxi Rogue Bard.
We have Nate.
I am Maya Verinos. I am a Dwarf Bard. And
We have-
the hero.
The hero.
You were almost the hero. We
Almost
have
hero.
Lance.
Almost.
I play Gideon Blackthorn, a human fighter warlock.
And Braden.
I am playing Elias Bloodstone, every time, a dwarf blood hunter archaeologist.
And this is the Glassbreakers Guild, or at least that's what we're calling ourselves for the moment.
And we are missing someone.
Well, we are missing the lovely Nat. She would be over here next to Steven,
His
but
better half.
she is unfortunately, like myself, stranded at work this evening. Nat, we miss you. We will look forward to having you next time. So, we normally start off our sessions with a recap, but I do not do the recap. I let one of you fancy folks in the
Let's go.
players do the recap for us. So
Touch my
who would like to do the recap? I think it defaults to Jordan this time. Please continue with the recap.
That's got to be some kind of form of racism against the crippled race. No,
R.I.P.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
no, we had all met each other after the unfortunate incident of the kitsune falling off of the tightrope. Hilarity and shenanigans ensue as we all get to know each other. We then went to meet our benefactor. If I could get a reminder on her name, that would be super.
Mistress Sylville.
Mistress Sylville, yeah.
Sylvain.
Oh, Sylvain.
Sylvain.
Thank you.
Sylville.
She's a great barber. She is also suffering from the death curse, and is a great example of why we need to get our asses moving. She is definitely not doing well, shriveling to nothing. And it was honestly sad to see such a great adventurer fall so low due to this curse. After agreeing to pay for many of our expenses and we going on a massive shopping spree, we were attacked by falling barrels that
was
dear Braden, our blood hunter dwarf, decided to roll a natural one on. I know it was your decision.
Oh no, I rolled a natural one and then I spent an
one.
influence
And rolled
another
an inspiration
one. Yeah.
and got another nat one.
Yeah.
And so the dice had spoken.
Yes.
And he
This was to
decided to
happen.
just
Very
dive under these falling barrels, and we caught a glimpse of this shady figure who seem to have snake-like features slink off into the shadows where the rope was cut. And this is where we will begin our story.
I'm coming back.
Except for that we lost one.
I think she was.
They're falling like flies tonight. We haven't even gotten out of the city, and we are already losing players. So
Damn, Keith.
so this is going to be hardcore, man. Hardcore. So
Gambling pool in the chat.
you find yourself in the middle of the street. You find yourself, Mr. Braden, under a pile of barrels.
My spine.
And I believe Bright Paul was the only one to recognize the slinking figure that was darting away from the scene of the accident. Question mark? Crime?
Question mark?
Question mark? Remains to be seen.
Question, Keith.
Yes.
I know some of us weren't there for this. Which of us?
I believe that Sploof and Pyre were not there. I believe
You guys were off.
I think we're not there.
I believe
we
you
were on our
and
way back
right.
from
So the only ones that were there
Sylvain.
would have been Hadrian, Brightpaw, and of course
Of course, Elias.
the
Elias.
unlucky
The
Elias.
That's-
That is now your moniker, the unlucky Elias.
Lucky Elias.
Oh, goody.
Well, look at who you ended up with. Someone's got to take that role. That is not me.
So I guess we'll start with our trio that have that have pressing matters on them.
But
The puns are real. The puns are real. So what do you guys want to do?
I'd like to stand up.
Roll the stand.
Okay, make me a strength check.
Oh, you do have to roll that. I have straight in through a check.
Athletics?
Athletics. Make it an athletics check.
16.
16? Okay. Yeah, you're able to get the barrels off of you. A couple of them have got cracks and are starting to ooze tej out of them.
Good Tej.
Good tej gone bad.
Too bad.
It is awful. It is awful. What are Bright Paw? What are you doing?
I'm going to go see if Elias is okay.
All right, Hadrian.
Yeah, that shady figure. I am going to.
Which you didn't know about.
Which
You
you
didn't
didn't
notice.
My bad.
I'm the only
So yeah, I'm going to walk over to Elias. If I didn't know any better, it would look as if you were attempting to catch those.
Machine show.
This was no accident.
You don't say.
I saw one of those the snake creatures.
One of those Yanti.
Yes, Leon T.
Yeah.
They one of them was fleeing.
Oh,
And it seems like the rope had been cut and not torn.
So our presence is known.
It seems
in the
that
city.
way, yes.
What is known?
It does
Or
seem-
were you just unhappily jumping underneath a pile of barrels that was meant for someone else?
Do I look like the kind of person that would do that?
I don't know.
To be fair, all I know of you is that you just dived underneath the pile of
You did indeed dive.
Someone
Were you
said
trying
duck,
to put on a
so I
performance?
ducked.
Were you trying to put on a performance?
Usually,
It seems you were
when-
unsuccessful.
What have I got myself into? Oh, I stabbed myself.
You're doing that once in real life.
Down.
Braden's a method.
Yeah.
Yes.
apparently.
Steven, evens or odds?
And that boy's name.
Okay. I'm going to forget names now.
Gideon.
Gideon, you and Meyer and I think it was
Jordan.
just you and Meyer.
On Jordan's character.
And Kai.
I was there.
So you three arrive back on the scene at this point.
You have been drinking much, my friend.
Shut up.
Why would you waste all this hedge?
I was accosted by a young tea, or so I've been told.
Indeed.
Did the Yuan Ti throw barrels at you?
As far as I could tell, he dived underneath them.
He did indeed dive underneath them.
But Yuan Ti makes better story, no?
Yes.
I have witnesses.
But it seems
They
that
just said you dived under the barrels.
Yes, I have heard the witnesses.
No, there's a valiant effort to try and save it.
In the future, Elias, I would recommend not trying to save things with your body.
Yeah, I don't think that the
See that come
barrels
up and I have
needed
to
saving.
shave your ash.
I hope with all of my heart that you don't do it with your body.
You know, I am sorry, my comment is not too good. My comment is not too good. Did you say shave his ass? Yes.
That's kind of what I'm
Here for Mr. Sugarvein.
Mistress Sylvain has set up a meeting with a broker of guides for us, and has also given us some funds that we can use to procure faster passage.
Okay.
What kind of passage are we?
Well, that kind of depends on what our guide tells us. We could walk, we could get canoes.
Would not recommend.
Pyre, Sploof, you arrive on the scene at this moment.
You smell worse than you did before. I'm prestidigitation, start cleaning.
Oh, I thank you.
He attempted to dive on. Well, yeah, he attempted to have a performance, but it did not work out.
I don't want to ask any questions, don't worry.
You're not a performer. Why were you trying to perform, and why does your performance stink?
What time do we have the appointment?
moving on.
As we are moving on.
Did Mistress Sylvain tell us when?
She did not.
Oh, good.
Mistress Sylvain does not yet know what time the appointment is.
She was somewhat busy hacking up a lung.
Do we know where we need to go?
Nope.
She is a resourceful lady. I am assuming we
I'm
she
sure we will.
I'm
knows
sure
that
there'll be a messenger.
It's
Yes.
not like we're going to be hard to find.
Right.
we do look rather uncommon.
So, do we all
You all
think we
look
have
uncommon.
provisions that we will need? I know we've got a few.
Walking cat.
That was me coughing, not my character.
And
Yes,
your
we-
point is?
We have procured enough for. We decided. to go
They at
with
least
the
know me
side.
around here.
I don't think we've did we
Well, we
decide that?
didn't
get the-
decide on it. We haven't spent any of the money yet, so we
Well,
haven't
I know,
decided.
but did we get the 300 for the 200?
We got 200
200
for
the canoe. Okay.
whatever.
Can you crack the window for me real quick? It's kind of
Okay, so we did get the money for transportation. We just need to decide whether we go by the stream or by the land.
I think that would all depend on what our guide says. Says, yes. Which will never
Did
get
you
old.
correct his impediment?
Never.
He also has a thing about consistency
Do we need-
as much as he dislikes Drew.
So besides all of that, do we need any? Is there any other purchases that we would need?
I know I only have 10 rations personally.
Yeah, I've got
Same,
5.
Same. Perhaps we should see what the guide says.
Yeah, we might want to just find out who our guide is before we go buying anything else, so we know how much we can actually carry.
I was
You don't need a
going to,
guide, I got this.
I was going to.
Have you ever
Do
traveled?
you realize what is in the jungle?
Yeah,
Keith?
trees.
I don't think any
Yes.
of us
I was
should.
actually
There are more than just
getting
trees, my
a
friends.
spool of fishing line and a very small, simple tackle box.
Easily found.
Block and
How
tackle.
much?
Whatever's in the
Player's handbook. It's called
PHP.
block and tackle.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
I'll give it to you in a second.
easy enough to find. Easily found.
Just swinging it up in the air. It's like, what are you doing? I'm fishing for batch. I've done that.
Fishing for batch.
In real life?
Yeah.
That's a
You've
thing.
got-
You can fish for bats. You just wave your fly in the air and they'll swoop for it.
Weird.
I know.
Sounds like fun.
Anyway.
Sorry.
back to the
No,
stream.
that sounds like fun.
Distraction.
Distraction.
It's fine. People are just looking things up in books.
One gold,
Right.
yeah.
One gold. Oh, it's a whole gold.
Multiple
says
uses.
it's
I know.
But
I saw.
it's a very versatile
Oh,
What's the weight on it?
5.
5 pounds.
The set of tools with a cable threaded through them.
I have exactly 5 pounds left.
I gotcha.
You got me?
Yep.
Okay.
But it also will allow you to hoist up to 4 times the weight you can normally lift. So should we need to pull anything up a cliffside or anything like that,
Not
it'll
sure.
come in handy.
Nice. Okay.
Hoping we don't find those, but. So.
All right.
I guess we just wander around.
Where are you wandering to?
Well, I mean, we don't have a guide yet. So. If anyone has any suggestions.
we must find our guide.
I might know of a few guides.
Had she reminded one? Had she reminded one? She was bringing us one, right?
I thought she was.
She was
Sending
setting
us
up
one?
a
Yes,
meeting
she was
so
setting
that we
up a
could
meeting.
hire one.
You're right.
Oh.
Isn't this the point of the meeting?
It's-
we just said.
So the shadows are growing long. The day is fading. The colors are becoming even more bright and festive in the town. Port Nyanzaru is shifting from the daily humdrum of business into more of a carnival atmosphere. As you are wandering about somewhat aimlessly at this point, having procured the supplies that you were looking for, you are approached in the market by a rather young Shulton child. It's hard to tell if it's a boy or a girl. They both keep their hair relatively short from what you're able to see. They both wear very similar clothing, most of it very, very colorful in the style of Schult. It is only when she speaks that you realize that she is in fact a young woman, a young girl. And she approaches you and she looks down the line at each of you in turn and is not really sure whom to address. And so, because she knows you are from Schult, she addresses you, Brightpaw.
All right.
My mistress bid me tell you that she has arranged for you to meet with... And she pauses for a moment as though she's trying to remember the message that she was actually given, or the name that she was actually given. And a lot of it is because of Keith.
That's method acting.
Method acting, absolutely. She has arranged a meeting with Merchant Prince Jobal for 2 hours past sunrise tomorrow morning.
Thank you. I hand her a copper piece.
And she holds it as though it is a treasure, and she smiles up at you, and she turns and runs off into the street.
Well, it seems we have our meeting.
I suppose that means we find somewhere to bed down for the night.
Oh, that's good.
Agreed. I just start like heading towards one of the closest places that looks like
As
an
Sploof
inn.
comes by, I'm gonna grab Sploof by the back of his collar and just sort of hold him there. So like his feet are still moving, but I'm just holding him.
Yep, exactly.
From where we are, can we see a tavern or an inn?
Actually, yes, you can see two of them. One is called the Thundering Lizard, and it sounds as though it might live up to its name. Lots of noise, laughter, raucous, good times being had inside. As you're watching, you actually see someone flung through a window. And if there had been glass there, it would have broken. But since most of the buildings here don't have glass, the person just flies out the opening, lands in a heap in the street,
It's as
picks herself up, dusts herself off, and goes right back in.
It's as if the Glassmakers Guild is out of business.
Where's your prize?
Across the square from the raucous, the Thundering Lizard, is a somewhat more sedate inn, and it looks like it's just the inn without the normally attendant, tavern common room shenanigans, and it is called Kaya's House of Repose. Kaya.
House of Repose.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Any suggestions?
That one.
Did
Which
I
one?
point to the lizard
Quiet
one.
Oh, I was thinking the one with brawls and ale.
Right?
We could just walk over there and then come back to sleep.
That's a good suggestion.
I approve of this.
Yes.
You will make an excellent minion.
I'm still holding Sploof.
So let's get rooms at the House of Repose, and then we can drink to our heart's content.
How late is it right now?
It's
I
just
have money
before
for
sundown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I do. I have some.
I seem to forget my finances. You are correct. Is it mostly metropolitan area here, or is there more of a woody outskirts pretty close?
From what you've seen of the city, you haven't really seen much beyond the core of the city, but it's not a cosmopolitan city like what you would be used to in the north, but it's got more of the hustle and bustle feel of a settlement. You're not real sure what lies beyond the core of the city that you've explored just yet.
Okay. Yeah, what I was curious is, as Tickle Belly Nomad, I can always have shelter from in like wild places.
Okay.
Is it wild enough
Okay.
for that?
What you've seen so far, not so much.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm definitely a little out of my comfort zone here in a nice inn.
I, however, have criminal connections that may or may not take me seriously.
Oh man.
What do you want to do with your criminal connections there, Sploof?
Well, to start off, I'm going to try to talk us into a room. Or two or three.
Oh, drinks too.
Yes, that would be the next.
Room and drinks.
I will not be requiring a room at one of these inns.
You live here.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Do you have something against these inns?
I have associates here that I am staying with.
Well, I mean, you're a local, right?
I am indeed.
You have a home?
No, not a home, but a place to stay, a place to sleep.
guess that's all one needs. I approve of that.
Me too.
You two approve, or you two have a place to stay?
I probably will shortly.
If you would like, we could also potentially go back to the southern branch and seek a bed there.
Oh, that's true.
Amongst more our speed of people.
Are these people not our speed? They seem to walk relatively quickly.
Compared to some, yes.
I don't know where that one went.
Yeah.
Sploof, I'd like to remind you I am still holding your collar so that you can't wander off.
Well, actually, I don't have any connections. I will probably be staying at one of the inns.
It's gone
So,
Oh no.
if anyone would be kind enough to share a room and split costs, I am willing to share.
How much is a room?
We don't know.
We don't
yet.
know.
We haven't even got in.
Got in.
We're in the middle of the square.
Well, let's
We're in the
go
middle of the
in.
square.
All right.
All right. So it sounds like
I might
you
have to-
three are not, and possibly you are not staying at the inn.
Depends on if we can find bedding.
Oh.
And if you release my
No,
collar,
I-
minion.
If he's willing to share, if he's willing to share a room, I would stay at the inn. I made a lot of money.
Thank you.
I'm willing to pay for everyone's board, if that's okay.
I can chip in.
Very nice of you.
First,
Yes.
I think it'd be prudent to find out
How
how
much that's gonna
room
cost.
and board
Okay.
is.
Going to Kayla's house of repose.
Okay, this house of repose. Okay, it's a quaint little inn. Doilies everywhere. Silk curtains blowing in the tropical breezes.
Just like Mother's home.
The inside is relatively airy. There is a good cross breeze, so it's not any hotter inside than it is out. Some of the places that you've passed have given off a distinct air of you don't want to go in there because it is so hot. This place is not like that. There is a relatively simple entry area. Seated behind the desk is what you only assume is Kayla, the proprietress. She's reached middle age and she seems to not want to admit that fact. She's wearing traditional Shulton clothing, and she has applied entirely too much makeup to try and cover blemishes.
Okay.
She also seems to have acquired somewhere along the way an enormous powdered wig, which clashes so much with her skin tone. But it is stylish, or at least it was about 10 years ago.
I kind of want one.
Most likely about 10 years ago.
Most likely about 10 years ago. Hi, can I help you?
Yes. I would like to inquire about boarding a couple of people.
And she looks
We're
down
more
the
than a
line.
couple.
She looks down the line and says, "Oh my, are all of
We are
You-
many.
Well, it depends on your age.
I see.
Fun.
Well, I do have, and she starts to count, and oh my goodness, is that a spider? Oh, yeah, he's okay in the stable though. Oh, good. And she starts to. So she keeps counting. Says, I assume you will need about 4 rooms.
I would think so, yes.
Okay.
That's
How?
Five.
Shit, 4.
Five. I will chip it.
Okay.
And how long will you be needing them for?
Probably just the night.
Just one night? Okay. And she pulls out an abacus and starts doing some calculating. says, oh yes, that for 5 rooms for 9 of you for 1 night comes to 1 gold and 5 silver pieces.
Is everyone alright with the room?
For 5
I
gold.
am not picky, my friend.
Right?
I am honored for your gift.
Please. Let me.
Okay.
This is why he is the best minion.
Well,
Amongst other
thank you. And she takes the gold from you and lets you know that your rooms will be on the 2nd floor, towards the back. They're all in a row. Feel free to help yourself to any one of them.
So you are paying, my friend.
Yes.
I believe that's so you can get a room of his own.
Thank you for this.
You are very welcome.
will do my
I heard an
best to pay you back.
I look for a room without much in the way of a window, or a window that looks far less accessible.
Well, it is the 2nd floor, and there's not really anything close to give. I mean, all of the buildings here are relatively close, but it doesn't look like any of them would be easy to reach from an adjacent building or from the street level. Most of the buildings are no taller than 2 levels tall, and while the windows are, mostly just openings to let breezes through, they're also relatively well guarded against unlawful entry. So any one of them would suit your purpose, you
I'm
think?
satisfied with the security of the room. I say, well, this one seems fine to me.
Who's going to bunk with who? Here's the next question.
My most excellent of comrades and I shall be together, I'm sure.
I am not picky.
Does it really matter?
Also, I really like your hat, ma'am.
Oh, it's not a hat, dear. It's a wig.
And a fabulous
when
one
she,
at that.
when Sploof says that, I uncork the
The
bottle that I have and take a quick swig.
Are 3 of us wearing like straw conicals?
Yes.
Yes.
Speaking of hats.
If one other person would care to join us.
I will join you.
Oh.
An excellent addition to my army.
Good luck with that.
So
That's okay.
arrangements made. You guys, I drop your stuff off. What's the plans for the evening?
Alright.
I do go and look around for possibly a table to do a bit of gambling.
Okay. You're not going to find it at Kaya's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so you're gonna go over
the
to-
other establishment.
I
Okay.
think I'm gonna go
To the Thundering
Lizard.
Thundering Lizard.
Thundering lizard.
Yes.
I'm gonna go find somewhere to perform.
Okay.
I would like to join you.
Probably the best place for that is going to be the Thundering Lizard.
All right, I
Anyone care
will.
to
Let's
come
go.
for drinks?
I'm in.
Yes.
If I am good for it if I may borrow a slight bit of money.
I shall pay.
Yes. How much?
I've got enough that I could probably, I don't know how much normal drinks are or anything like that. What?
For,
I mean,
for a night
for-
of light drinking.
For a night of light drinking, you're probably looking at the better part of a gold piece, but not a full gold piece.
Okay.
So long as
Alright,
so long
I'll
as you're
just-
not buying top shelf,
Yeah.
you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Fine with that.
So I'm gonna go in there and I'm just going to sit down and try and make the sign that says will duel for 1 gold buy-in.
Okay. So you're gonna make a sign.
Yeah, and then I'll set it down in front of me and wait for anyone who might
Okay.
want to.
All right.
Cool.
So let me have. Oh, let me have. So this is going to be probably a 2-part skill check. This is going to be first just a straight dexterity.
Dexterity.
Just a straight dexterity roll. How well the sign is put together.
That's going to be a 15 exactly.
15. Okay. Pretty well made. Doesn't look too much like a kid with crayons.
Not too fancy.
Not too fancy, but not too bad.
Yeah.
And then the next roll will be a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Okay, that's going to be a 60.
60. Okay. And that's for language to entice potential combatants. And we will come back to that.
Yeah, please do.
Pyre, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go to the library.
Okay, so you are not going to the bar. You are going to the library. Okay. We'll come back to that. Mr. Hadrian.
So yeah, I'm looking for a nice low stakes gambling table, just something that maybe I can make
Okay.
a couple gold from.
Make me an investigation check.
Investigation check. That will be a 16.
16. Okay, we will come back to that. Sploof.
I am going to use my criminal connections to try to get people to come along with us for, fodder.
To be
Do
rich.
you tell them that?
Make me a
Wow.
persuasion check at disadvantage. 1, because you put it exactly that way, and 2, because you're a goblin.
It's really
It could have been worse. It's 7.
Okay, we will come back to that. Brightpaw, what are you doing?
I'm performing with Mayor, so I'm probably going.
Okay, so let me, one of you two, I don't care who, make a performance check with advantage because the two of you
Okay.
are assisting each other.
Yeah, we got the same performance.
Yeah, we have the same performance.
And you have advantage, don't forget.
Unnatural. Oh yeah, I do have advantage. Oh,
Even better.
23.
23.
Yep.
Okay, we will come back to that.
Yeah.
Mr. Gideon, what are
I'm
you
gonna
up
hang
to?
around and see if anyone takes up Kai on his offer to duel. If that
Okay.
happens, I want to see that.
I
Awesome!
am peeping out of the corner of my eye.
Okay.
You gonna bail him out?
I might duel him.
All right.
Oh.
We will come back to you then. And
I'll
Elias.
probably do some drinking, and then probably see if I can find like a pipe and some tobacco.
Okay.
Watch out for barrels.
Don't tell me that. I'll start looking up and not down.
Make me an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation, 19.
19. Okay, excellent. And we're going to go back down the line the other direction.
Okay.
So with your 19, sir, after you've had a couple of rounds at the bar, you sort of lean into the bartender and you make just a friendly inquiry about finding some really fine pipe tobacco. I assume that's what you're looking for, is
Yes.
pipe tobacco. Okay.
Yes.
Since you've been somewhat generous with, paying for your drinks and tips and whatnot, the bartender actually reaches into her own pouch and pulls out some tobacco that has, just as she rolls it in her hand and lifts it to your nose, the aroma that hits it is heavenly. You're not real sure where this stuff comes from, but it smells amazing.
Okay.
And seeing that you are in fact appreciative of what she's offering you, she actually pulls the pouch up, sets it on the bar in front of you, and bids you have a bit of it. And then she goes back down the bar to continue tending to her customers.
How many uses is that?
What's that?
How many uses is that pouch?
Well, she's
Oh, only one. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
she's
that's
gonna
fine.
give you one.
Okay, that's fine.
But
That's fine.
She's keeping a pretty close eye on it because
I'll
this is
enjoy it while I
this
can.
is really good tobacco. I mean, it's some of the best that you've
I shall
had.
enjoy it. With the rest of my
You're with Kai, so we'll get
can
to
do
you
that,
when you get down when we get down to him. The two of you are putting on one wham bang of a show. And everyone in the bar is stomping their feet and clapping along, and some of them even start singing the words to the tune that you guys didn't realize it had words, but they're singing along with it anyway. You're not 100% sure that they're not making up words as you go, but you know it most likely it fits, and so everyone's having a good time, and the two of you will split 4 gold pieces for your performance tonight.
2 each.
Sploof.
What we're all excited about.
Yes.
You have gone around the room extolling the virtues of you and your friends and inviting everyone that you can meet to come along and sacrifice themselves for the greater good. And you go and you find a table in the corner and you wait for people to show up and flock to you and to sign up. And nobody does.
Cowards all!
Hadrian, you do find a table in the back where there seems to be a not a high stakes game, but sort of a mid stakes game going on that you're able to sort of get in on. Just roll me 3 d20s.
20s?
3 d20s.
Straight rolls, no bonus.
3 straight rolls, no bonuses.
Alright. So that will be 9, 16, and 19.
Okay, so 9, 16, and 19. Okay. On the first hand, you have got a killer hand, and you are able to actually rack in about 2 or 3 gold pieces. On the second hand, you not quite as good, but you're able to edge out a couple of the other players at the table and sort of lull them into betting, probably over betting their hand, and you manage to squeak by and walk away with the pot. On the third hand, you are sure you've got the top hand. Absolutely sure. Now, the question I have to ask for you is, with that knowledge, what would you do betting-wise?
You know, I'm going to be a little deceptive here.
Okay.
And essentially be like, just more giving away the small little gestures of someone who's trying to bluff his way.
Make me a deception check, please.
That would be 22.
22. Okay. Well, they bought it, and they decide to go all in with you. And I'm assuming you're going to meet them.
Yes.
Unfortunately, their hand is a little bit better than yours, and everything that you've won for the night goes right back into the pot, or goes back into somebody else's pockets.
Okay.
That last roll was a natural 20.
Oh no.
So,
Happens.
yeah, it happens. You know, it's one of those things. I was just going right down the.
Prepared to
So, with a 23, pickpocketing a few of those coins back.
scallywag.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, You are able to get your hands into the pocket and
I'd just take 2 gold.
you can do that. You feel like any more than that is pushing your luck a bit.
Enough to go and I make sure to buy them all a nice drink and
Okay. Yeah, that'll be about five silver out of what you won. So you walk away with basically about a gold and a half up for the night.
increase.
Yeah.
So Kai, what was your initial roll? It was a
So I rolled a 15 first, 16 second.
16 second. Okay.
I just am in a corner table with my feet propped up and.
And unfortunately, we are losing Bright Paw. She has to go to
Yes.
class.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
We'll get back to you next time. I hope you had a good time and go kick butt. Take names.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Learn all the things.
Learn all the things. Learn all the things.
All the things. I just have my hat low and I'm just waiting for someone to.
So you have sort of you've got a friend sitting with you, sort of lending his intimidating air.
You're sitting.
Well, I was actually probably going to be like not with him.
Okay.
Somewhere off at the
Okay.
bar, like somewhere close by, so I can watch without being right there.
Okay.
Okay. What's your character's name again?
Gideon.
Gideon. Thank you.
Gideon. Okay. So Gideon is close by, but he's just sort of watching you, not really getting into, he's sort of off to the side. You kind of see him there, but he's not at the same table as you. About halfway through the night, you see this drunk sailor stumble up to your table.
Better.
Hey! I'll fight ya!
I take a single finger, tip my hat up out of my eyes, and look up. It's a 1 gold buy-in,
He
but I buy in as well.
so he reaches into his pouch and he pulls out.
Window takes pop.
He doesn't pull out a gold piece. He actually pulls out 10 silver, and you kind of notice that,
Which is a gold, right?
which is a gold.
Yeah.
He pulls out 10 silver pieces, and you notice that his pouch seems to go a little flat and doesn't seem to be making a whole lot of jingling noises anymore. And he sort of drunkenly plops it on the table, and coins sort of sprawl all over the place. I'm gonna lay you out.
Thank you. Don't lose that.
Okay. Well, rules. The loser is able to walk away from the fight. Not hobble, not limp. Walk.
What, you scared?
No, I just have no interest in killing a man tonight.
That's funny.
And if you leave the circle, then you are also in loss.
What circle?
I'm going to get up from my table and walk outside. And
Hey, where are you going? Come back here.
Follow.
He's gonna stumble after you.
Gideon, would you be my second?
Sure.
Do you require a second in case I break the rules?
He just sort of goes incoherent at that point. It's like, make me an insight check real quick. You can as well.
Okay. Whoop. I threw that onto the couch. There we go. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I got an 18 on that, actually.
18. Okay.
I got a 12.
12. Okay. He's. It's not hard to see. He's like sloshed out of his brain.
Right.
You're not 100% sure he's completely in control of his faculties.
I'll still risk it.
Okay.
So I'm going to draw with my toe about a 30-foot circle,
Okay.
and this is our ring. Do not leave this ring or you forfeit. Agreed?
I don't need no circle in the dirt to tell me that I can lay you out, and he's gonna swing at you.
Ooh, like a
He's just a haymaker. He's gonna swing at you.
surprise thing.
Yeah.
Poisoning.
He is not going to hit you, however.
Alrighty.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
Swing, bada, bada, bada.
And in fact, he is going to now make a dexterity save at disadvantage. And he swings so hard, he spins himself around and falls flat on his ass inside the circle,
Ooh. So advantage on my attack roll.
if you want it. We will take initiative rolls at this point.
Okay.
I want one from you two, just in case.
Initiative is going to be a 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 19 on that guy.
Okay. What was yours?
4.
Guess what? We're tied.
That-
So.
I can't touch. You have to verify.
Okay.
So with advantage, I'm gonna have a nat 20 on this roll.
Oh, okay. So what are you? I mean, he's
So
still flat on his butt on the ground.
I'm going to take my sword, and I haven't drawn anything yet, so I'm going to spend my interaction to draw it and use my Yaido ability. And that is, I'm going to actually leave it in its sheath to kind of roleplay my non-lethal.
Okay.
Let's see. Longsword is D8, right? Yeah, D8. And once again, it's max damage plus roll, right?
Max
No-
damage plus roll.
And no multiplier on.
It's
your
just the
dexterity
dice
or
roll,
anything.
right?
Okay.
Right. Just the dice roll for the weapon. It gets max
Yep.
plus the roll, and then add your modifier.
So 8 and 6 and 6 are. Let's see. So 6 and 6 is 12.
That's going to be 20 points.
20. Plus 6 more. Where's my D6? There's my D6. Plus 2 more. Plus 6 more. And then 3 for my modifier.
Okay. So he takes this wild haymaker swing at you, completely misses, flings himself to the ground. You pull your sword off your belt, still in the sheath, and just sort of tap him over the head. His eyes roll back, and he collapses into the street.
I'm gonna grab him underneath each arm and drag him back over by the tavern, sort of prop him up
I'm
against
gonna
the wall.
help you.
Technically,
And-
doesn't that mean that he couldn't walk out?
I actually motioned for you to drag him over to Sploof's table.
We'll drag him over to Sploof's table.
All right.
I'm going to take the gold piece,
Okay.
and yeah, it's all non-lethal. He is definitely.
He's just knocked out.
harmed.
He is
Yeah.
just knocked the heck out.
He's got knocked out. Right. So I'm going to take his gold or his 10 silver and put it in my pouch and go sit by my side. And
Oh, okay.
Wait to see if anyone else comes.
All right.
Thank you for being my second.
Anytime.
So now
I have an assignment for you.
So now I'm going to do something quite unusual.
Okay.
I want you to roll against yourself.
Oh no!
You are going to roll persuasion, straight persuasion,
Okay.
against your intimidation at advantage.
Oh.
Oh no!
Okay. Well.
Oh, my morals.
7, 8. So it's an 8 on my persuasion.
An advantage on the second.
And, well, so far on my intimidation it's a nat 1, but I have advantage. It's gonna be. It still could be. What's my intimidation? No, it's still too high.
So everyone in the bar saw
rolled
you take this guy
9.
out.
I beat it by 1. My intimidation beat it by 1.
So everyone in the bar saw you walk outside with this guy, hit him once in a shot that was almost too fast to follow.
Spin it, put it back in my belt.
Spin it, put it back in your belt, and walk back in with him being dragged in under the shoulders. Nobody wants to play with you anymore.
Played yourself.
Bummer.
Well, so is it pretty easy to tell nobody else is gonna?
Yeah.
So in that case, once he goes and sits back over by his sign, I'm gonna get a drink real fast and just one shot, and I'm gonna go throw a gold piece down on the table.
Oh.
All right.
You're wanting to.
The library.
I'm not so sure as this is a lend from Sploof.
It's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I want to
I,
see
I stand up, and I bow. Like this will be.
Oh, I'm watching
This
this.
will be. This will be excellent, my friend. And I extend my hand.
I will shake your hand.
And I say same rules. Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to that.
The
Yes.
circle's still drawn.
Circle still drawn. Pyre. At the library. Anything in particular you are searching for, my friend?
Anything on the city of Omu,
Okay.
and or any particular magical secrets. that I
Look
can
at you
get my
doing
hands on.
research.
Okay. All right. So for the first, make me. I'm gonna need 2 rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an investigation and a history check.
So, neither of those are very good, actually. Well, let's see. So 7 and a 6. So 7 for history, plus 7, so 14 for history.
Okay.
And then what was the other one? 6.
Just investigation.
Okay, and then 13 for investigation.
13. Okay. You pour through the tomes. You sort of just start looking through what they have. Some of them are actual books, bound leather tomes with spines. What we typically consider books. Some of them are scrolls. Some of them are actually just flat. Looks like flattened reeds that have been bound together and can roll up, papyrus kind of things. And you spend hours deep into the night looking through as much as you can in the given time, and you find only a few vague references to Omu, and most of them are connected to wildly outlandish legends that couldn't possibly be true. And some of them make references to it as the Forbidden City. Some of them connect it with races that are too fantastical to be even believed. But you're not really getting any solid information on. Presumably, what you're looking for is where it is.
Where it is, or like legends about it.
I mean, there are plenty of legends about it, but very few that you give veracity.
Okay.
And none of them at all have any clues as to location.
Okay. And I'm willing to stay up a little bit later. Is there any magical secrets that I can ferret out in this library?
Okay. For this, I will take investigation arcana.
Okay. I've foreseen my roll
Oh no.
Yes.
on investigation, and that's going to be a 27.
Okay, very nice.
Natural 20 plus 7.
Right, very nicely done.
And then Arcana 16 plus 7. So
23.
I can't do math. 23. Yeah.
23.
Okay, okay. All right. Let me pull up some stuff here. Refresh my memory. What is? Oh no, hang on. I will just do this. Where is it? Where's my stuff? There we go.
They occasionally make
Really?
appearances on my stream.
Come on, really?
Yes. There's always
Okay.
Waiting for Keith to find his notes.
Yeah. Well, that's not gonna do so hot. I thought I could
So I,
sort it.
as I'm doing it, I unwrapped a good portion of that really long leather piece around my staff,
Yes.
and I take 10 minutes of my search and I read from the leather, and I cast detect magic as well.
Okay.
So that big long 10 minutes of rereading this.
Rereading stuff. Right. Let me see if I can find something here for you.
If you want to just come back to that.
Yeah, I will have to come back to this. You're pouring through the tomes a second time. Detect Magic hasn't really found anything of particular interest to you, but in your sort of researching, you do happen to stumble across some notes scribbled in the margin of a particularly dense tome on the history of Chult that leads your mind down fantastical magical connection pathways. And as you sort of sit there and ponder what the notes are telling you, something sort of clicks in your brain, and you pull out a sheaf of your paper and start scribbling down an arcane formula. And give me a moment at the end of the session, and I will tell you which spell that you have discovered from those notes.
Oh.
You are smarter than Sploof. You make much better uses of your time.
Don't guarantee that that's going to continue.
All right, so let us go back to Kai and Gideon. Bum, bum, bum.
What race are you in?
I'm a human.
You're a human,
I'm a human.
and it's into the evening then.
It is into the evening. You guys have spent several hours at the Thundering Lizard, and the streets are dark. There are the sounds of the jungle wafting in over the city walls. So the sounds of the night in the jungle. You can tell not only does the city come alive, but so does the jungle around the city. There's on the breeze. You can also still smell the salt air from the sea. You can hear waves distantly crashing against some shore somewhere. The sounds of sort of carnival permeate the air, and the two of you are standing in the middle of the street. There is a light flowing out from the tavern and from some of the other buildings that surround you. This particular fight has drawn a crowd to watch.
Should we take bets?
Yes.
And I will have initiative from the both of you.
Okie dokie.
What class are you getting?
So what?
What class are you?
I'm a warlock fighter.
A warlock fighter.
Holy crap.
All right, Jordan,
I got
Kai.
I got a 21.
21.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Oh,
So
it's so
only
close.
just. So the two of you face off in the ring.
I'm gonna shrug my shield around
Okay.
Good
and draw my
call.
sword.
Good call.
Yeah,
And
I'll wait for you to have your weapons prepared. I am not drawing weapons yet.
okay.
Gotta get that EI in, man.
Excellent. And so the two of you eye each other. Kai, are
Alright.
you going? So I assume
So-
you'll do sort of a.
Yeah, I bow for sure. Oh yeah, lots of respect here.
In any sort of sign of respect coming back, or
I'll give him like a short bow back. Like it's not really my custom, but
right?
Okay,
All right.
so
And
I got
so, The long moments drag out, and then like lightning, Kai.
17.
that is my AC.
Ooh.
Ties go to the attacker.
Okay.
Oh, the attacker this game? Okay.
Yes, you are meeting or exceeding the AC.
Okay. And I think the way I'm gonna have to do this is no brutalizing. So let's see, 3, 4, and 4, and my modifier is 3.
So 11 points.
And then I'm going to spend my bonus action to use the shadows of the night, the light obscurity, and I'm going to veil. You don't need full obscurity for that.
Question: do you have to have some obscurity for that?
It can be done with either half cover or partial obscurity.
Which neither of which you have.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I just thought it was dark out and it was.
It's a dark street, but there is light coming out from the windows.
Okay.
So
And that doesn't matter. I can see in the dark like I see in the light.
Oh,
yeah.
you have okay. If that's the case, I'm going to spend my bonus
however,
action.
you don't know that.
Wouldn't know that,
You
though.
would not know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You're right.
This is
You're
the
right.
first nighttime.
Okay.
This is.
Then
I say nighttime.
yes. Is it dark vision you have? Okay.
The ability literally says you can see normally in darkness and magical darkness.
Wow. That's okay.
Warlock.
So you're going to spend the bonus action
I
to
spent my
attempt it
bonus
anyway?
action. My stealth is awesome, but it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really do you much good.
A lot of the crowd will have a hard time.
A lot of the crowd are going to have a hard time seeing you, but not your opponent.
So I got 18 plus 7, so it's pretty damn good.
All right. Unfortunately, that's
Yeah.
not going to mask you just a whole lot from him.
Right, you still see me.
Gideon.
That was awesome. My character would not have known that. That's incredible.
That's really cool. I started playing bagpipes for fight music.
Bless you.
Mortal Kombat with bagpipes.
Make a performance check. You have advantage because Brightpaw is still with you.
Yeah. 22.
It's a kick-ass fight music song.
Okay. I'm going to use my Hexblade's Curse as my bonus action.
Okay.
Nice.
So that means I get to add my proficiency bonus to my damage against the person I've cursed, and I crit on a 19 or a 20.
Roll your
That's
attack.
insane. And you got non-lethal going on, right?
Yeah,
You're
I
allowed to-
assume this is all non-lethal.
Yeah, cool. Yes, I definitely kept my sheath on, for sure.
You guys are gonna be so sore walking through the jungle tomorrow.
Alright, I'm gonna expend my superiority die to use my fainting attack, which gives
Okay.
me advantage on the roll.
Ooh.
Good move.
So that's a 17.
You hit.
All right. So then
Not a critical, but a hit.
I don't even know how much damage I deal.
That's true. You've done the same thing for so long.
I know, right? I don't even know what I do
What?
anymore.
What am I doing? Ah!
Yeah, it's gonna take me a minute to adjust to a necromancer. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I plan on not doing much.
All right, so that will be with the superiority die because I hit. That'll be 11 points of damage as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, nope, 13. I forgot
Oh,
to add in
yeah.
the curse.
You
13
got me,
points of
you
damage.
got me good.
So,
I'm still up,
so
but
bam.
yeah, I kind of looked shocked as you seemed to know. Like,
So
exactly
as-
where I was.
So with the first sort of lightning attack that you hit Gideon with, the crowd sort of gasps and draws its collective breath, and then you disappear, and everyone is just agog. And then Gideon lunges right in and gives back just as good as you gave him,
Kind
and
of knocking me
and
into the light.
and the crowd
Yeah.
gasps again, almost a little bit louder than before.
By the way, Keith, since you're my patron, what does my Hexblade curse look like?
Ooh.
So as the sword flashes out, there is, at the point of contact, a bright flash of green energy that rushes back down the blade to your hand and then back out. And it wraps you in this sort of green aura before flashing and disappearing.
That's awesome. How are you role-playing your non-lethal out of curiosity?
Flat of the blade.
Flat of the blade. Awesome.
So you feel the flat part of a blade tab you in your chest,
Yeah.
and it
It
staggers
sucks.
you, and
Yeah.
then there's this flash of green light, and now it's your turn.
So I kind of like slide back, like putting one palm on the ground, and I look up and I smile. And then like the smile is almost it's more of respect than a taunt. And I I get back up, and I'm right now I'm thinking, all right, like the subtle approach is not working. I'm just gonna go in for all I got, and I'm actually going to run in, like with the sword I got. The last second, I'm just gonna let it go and so drop it as a free action. And spend my interaction to draw my other one off my belt for a second Yaido strike, which is going to be a let's see, I got a 19 to hit, and you said you're 17.
Yeah, so I'm going to use my reaction to cast shield.
What's that?
Gives me a +5 to my AC.
So you see this sudden flash of arcane energy as you're coming in, and the flash is enough to distract you enough that he's able to slide out of the way. And
Except I'm going to spend my inspiration, and that next roll was a 22.
okay,
That's tied.
That's...
I tied again!
ties go to the attacker.
I will use my inspiration to force him to re-roll that.
Roll it again.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah, you dodge.
So for a second, there's a flash. You thought you were able to correct in time, but at the last second, he just sort of flows out of the way. And I will, at this point, since it is an all-out attack, I will take an acrobatics check from you.
From me?
From you.
Okay. Alright, that's gonna be, acrobatics, yes. Okay, so that's gonna be a 20, non-natural.
Okay, cool. You're able to stop yourself with plenty of room to spare before the edge of the circle, and you whirl to face your opponent, who is doing what?
Well, that depends how many spell slots I have. Okay. As a bonus action, I'm going to use Second Wind to get back some hit points. Fantastic. That's 2 hit points back.
Yay!
So you're only down 9 at this point.
And I'm just going to go for, just for a regular attack. I don't have a whole lot of special stuff I can do.
Before you do that, make me a perception check real quick.
That would be a 18.
18? Okay. He's pretty close to the edge of the circle.
So if I wanted to push him out of the circle, what would that be? What would be involved in that attempt?
Do you have the pushing maneuver?
No.
That tends to be athletics.
It's going to be an athletics
versus
athletic.
either my
It's
athletics or acrobatics.
yeah.
Tends to be
It's
outright.
basically it's a grappling kind of move.
How hurt are you looking?
On a scale of
It's
1 to
decent.
6.
Pretty rough, guys.
Yeah, you've hit me pretty hard. How hard are you looking?
Pretty winded.
All right, yeah.
I'm about halfway.
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna go for a regular
I would like
attack.
to use my reaction
Oh no!
to Curse of the Eyeless.
What are you?
What?
You get disadvantage.
Monster.
Do I notice this?
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Because I would not be about that life.
I would like
I
to
only got a 2.
No, you did not notice it. Actually,
Actually, it's a 6, but
okay, so it's a 6. Hang on. Make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah, you know how well my rolls go. What is my sleight of hand?
I assume it's something that you have to do.
Well, no. Let me see what it's. No, it's not spell components. It's literally my blood maledict.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
So I guess that's up to you to decide if there's like.
Okay.
an
So
action
not sleight of hand. Just make it a deception check.
Oh, give me the one where I'm in the negative.
Do I get a perception check to see him before he
Yes.
blinds me?
Yes, Yes, please.
Okay, that is a 12.
he beats me.
So yeah, you don't see it.
I rolled a 13.
You,
That's not
however,
how I rolled it.
Oh, okay.
you, however, do. You see him
Okay.
doing something in the corner right before what happens?
As long as you're not immune to blindness, which I doubt you are, you get disadvantage on this attack roll.
Okay.
All right.
As I feel I need to
Disadvantage on the
tip
attack.
the
So you see him do something in the corner, and suddenly there is a red veil that falls across your vision, and you can't see anything.
kind of the skeletal arm kind of glows a bit brighter in that.
That is still going to be a 22.
Good lord.
You are, however, able to hone in on the heavy breathing of your opponent. What are you doing at this point?
Heavy breathing.
All right, so that will be 14 points of damage.
Wow.
Okay, so again, flat of the blade.
Yeah, flat of the blade.
So
I take a knee and yield.
So this one, the flat of the blade somehow manages to find the side of your head, and your ear starts to ring. As you're looking up, you can see that Gideon's eyes are just covered with this red glaze, and he has still somehow managed to find you and tap you with the flat of his blade.
I rolled an 18 and a 17.
Wow.
That was just a really good roll.
I cock my head to the side as I, shake off,
I go back
and I
inside.
stand up and I'm like, your vision.
So as soon as the attack was over, I'm going to drop my blade and go to rub my eyes to see what's going on.
How long does that last?
To,
Just the next attack?
no, it's literally he just gets An enemy who is not immune to blindness within 60 feet makes a weapon attack. You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage
A single
on
attack.
the
So it's a single attack.
Yeah.
So as your hand is rising to your eyes, the red veil lifts and you can see normally.
That was not me. This victory is yours.
Thank you. It was a good fight all around.
You as well.
You're very skilled.
As the two of you are standing in the circle, there's a thunderous peal of thunder, and the rain starts, and it is a deluge.
And you hear from inside the bar, Sploof is like standing on top of the back of the guy that you dragged in and through there, going, yes!
And that's where we're going to leave it for the night.
Good game.
We had a lot of fun, I
I was
think.
trying to make that a bit fair because
We-
like shield.
Make it a bit fair.
So that is
That was you interrupted a duel.
so we've had some shenanigans, and we will be back with you next week. Hopefully at our more regular time, 5:30 Mountain Standard Time. We will. I'll leave it up to you guys to figure out what time that is in your own particular time zones. Thank you so much for coming along with us. Thank you to all of my players for playing along. And Nat, we miss you. Kyrie, we hate you had to leave early, but we'll all have the gang together hopefully for next week, and more shenanigans shall ensue.
Yes.
Meanwhile, thank you so very much for coming along with us. Give us those likes, give us those follows, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good.